Are you a doctor that's working as an associate doctor in another doctor's practice and are thinking that, you know what, maybe it's time for me to have my own practice? Do you stress over how to get started on building your dream? Wondering what the first steps are to making it happen for yourself and for your family? Maybe you're perplexed on what the very first step is in this entire lengthy process? If so, you're not alone. In this video, I'll discuss with you the very first steps to making that very difficult evolution and transition from working as an associate in somebody else's practice to launching your very own practice, because there's a lot involved. And I'm Dr. Chris Tomshack, CEO of HealthSource, America's Chiropractor, and you're watching the Chiropractor Solution channel. It's the video series we put together that helps you grow your chiropractic practice and your career, both professionally and personally. So, hello and welcome. And before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, please, so you can continue receiving these videos. And if you would also, please give us a thumbs up to make it easier for other chiropractors to find this content. It's really important. It's how it works. So before we jump into the first steps to launching a practice and what they are, well, I'd be remiss if I didn't make the declaratory statement that practice ownership is definitely not for everyone. It's a lot more stressful owning and managing a practice, including being responsible for every single little detail and every single bill than it is working in another doctor's practice. You know, going home at the end of the day, essentially worry-free, and that's a fact. So if you're certain you're ready to consider making the leap into practice ownership to build your dream, well, let's dig in. So let's say you've been working as an associate in another doctor's office for, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And you've learned what you could from the opportunity, and now you want to delve into building your own practice. What's next? Where do you start? Before we dive into the mechanics, that list of details, there's hundreds of them of creating that practice of your own. We need to take a much bigger picture. Let's step back a bit. So, put succinctly, what is your vision for your practice? What's it look like to you? What's it going to look like? What is it you want to create? Where do you want it to be? In what community would you like to work and live? Maybe raise a family? These are not esoteric questions. To the contrary, they're critical to a career that builds both the practice and the lifestyle of your dreams. So let's start with the most basic thing, your overall vision. That's where the process all begins as we teach it. And when I say vision, I mean, what exactly do you want to have, build or create? Do you see yourself as a one-doctor clinic, or in the future would you like to have another doctor or maybe many doctors working with you? Do you want a team to help support you and do a lot of the work for you, or do you want it to be a one-person office? I mean, what kinds of services do you want to be able to provide to your patients? Only you can answer that. When do you want to start creating this entirely different from reality from what you're currently experiencing today? I encourage you to spend a lot of time on the overall vision of your practice. Forget about where to put the practice for now, just for now. Just concentrate on your vision. In fact, think about it in terms of a 1-year, a 3-year, and a 10-year vision. And then you work backwards from that 10-year vision. So we're going to start there. So what do you want your practice to look like in 10 years? Think about it. Close your eyes and envision it in your mind's eye. This is 10 years out. Is it in a strip center? Is it a standalone building? Maybe you even own it. Or maybe it's in a professional office building. What would make you the happiest? And then, how busy is the practice in 10 years? How many team members do you have? How financially successful is it? How financially successful are you? Does it support you buying a really nice house for your family? What's your lifestyle look like in 10 years? And do I even need to mention student loans? Of course I do, so I'm going to. Did you pay them off in 10 years? Oh, I certainly hope so. Your 10-year vision gives you a target to look at and eventually achieve. Though it's highly likely your vision is going to evolve as you move forward towards that target, and that is totally normal. As a matter of fact, it's expected. So this is about today, what you'd like to see happening in 10 years from now as you see it today, right now. So suggestion, Go lock yourself in a nice quiet place, not a Starbucks, quiet place, and spend an hour or so on your 10-year vision. This is important, it really is. It's how you will eventually create the actual roadmap to getting there, because we work backwards from that. You start with the end in mind and then work backwards to get there, because 10 years is going to arrive whether or not you're actually going to achieve your dream. It'll get here regardless. So knowing that, you are prudent to build the map so that in 10 years, you've built something you're really proud of and happy to call your life. Have you done this work yet? How far did you get? Are you moving towards it with good speed you're happy with, or are you stuck in space and time? Let me know in the comments below, and I really look forward to hearing from you on this topic, because this is a big one. But let's move on. Let's say you've got your 10-year vision completed and you are happy with it. You like it. You can see it happening in your mind's eye. You're motivated, and now you're wondering, okay, I got it, now what's next? I'm glad you asked. So let's future cast your vision to just 3 years into the future from today. 3 years from now. I mean, of course you've got your practice humming and growing well, because it's a long 3 years after all, right? The question I have for you is this: what's going on in 3 years? What does your practice look like? How many people are you serving in your community? Maybe per day, per week, per month? How successful is the practice? Are you paying down any debt you have, such as monstrous student loans? Here's how you think about this. You know where you want to be, at least of today, in 10 years. How far along towards that dream, should you be at the end of the first 3 years? I mean, let's just say that you want, what so many other DCs want in 10 years, which is $1 million plus practice. In 3 years, is it possible that you can launch your practice and grow it halfway there, maybe to $500,000? Well, of course it is, with the right plan, I might add. If you don't think of your practice in terms of financial success or dollars, and a number of DCs don't, and that's totally fine, please just know and accept that, your practice can be highly successful in how you define success 3 years from today. Even if you don't even know yet where you want to practice, it can happen if you plan for it and execute it with precision and a really good plan. So close your eyes right now and think about 3 years from today. Let's say you launch your practice 6 months from today, so you have 2.5 years to grow your practice. What's it look like? I mean, again, do this in a quiet space so that you can dream and think. And we're not done with the initial planning yet, because now that you've got your 3 year, now we're going to back it up even further. Now it's time to create your 1 year plan. So let's assume your practice is up and running 6 months from today, which is extremely doable. So now you'll have been open for a half a year in a year from now. So what's your practice look like now? How many patient visits do you have each week? How many new patients are attracted to your practice each month, or however you want to look at this? I mean, certainly you've cruised way past break even after 6 months. So how financially successful is your practice? How many team members do you have? I mean, think, dream, imagine. This is how you get started. This is how you program your mind for a great career you're incredibly proud of. This is your life's work. This is what most people never do. Seriously, this is not a dress rehearsal. It's your life. Put the crucial planning time in so you create something you love doing every single day. You wake up feeling charged. I mean, have you done these steps yet? Or maybe you've done something different, but sort of similar? The most important thing, though, is to get started on this planning process. If you don't know what you want to create, how do you move forward so you end up in a fantastic place in the future? These steps are where the real magic happens, and it's a lot of fun. It doesn't cost you a single Bitcoin to get started. In the near future videos, we'll talk about getting, financing so that you can launch, and a ton of other details. But all of that is the mechanics. It's straightforward, and we have a recipe for doing it all. Your vision is all about you. Invest the time. This is your dream. You're worth it. We need more massively successful chiropractors, seeing more people in the community, not more than, that are having incredible difficulty just paying off their student loans. You can be on the extremely successful side of DCs if you put in the time to create a vision and then use an excellent plan that you execute well. I'd love to hear from you. Please leave your comments on this topic below the video. And if you found this video interesting and helpful, grab our free report for chiropractors at hsfranchising.com. It's the game plan we followed to make 2021 our very best year ever of average clinic growth that we've ever had by far. We actually blew away our expectations. You can too. So again, head over to hsfranchising.com. Check out our videos. You'll love them. As always, I welcome your feedback and opinions on this topic in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a beautiful day.